Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Jeannie, and it's Jeannie's Signatures. So today I'll be making this Basque gown, yeah, and with a keyhole at the chest area. The gown is beautiful, yeah, with a little bit of gathers at the lower part. So if this is what you're interested in, please kindly watch till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share. Thank you. Let's get over to cutting of the throwing proper. So I have my fabric folded on the table, as you can see. I'll be making use of this fabric. So I'll be cutting the front and the back simultaneously, like together at the same time. So in order to know what you need to put on fold, just divide your bust measurement, which is your biggest body part, into 4, and then you add some sewing allowances to that. And then I'll be getting my half length, and then I added 1 inch to that. So now for the back, I just added 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. That is why you see that the back is longer or wider than the front. So now the first thing is just dividing my shoulder measurement into 2. So if you know how to cut a basic bodice, you can just dive right into doing that, yeah. And then I'll be getting my armhole. Just came down by 9 inches for my armhole. I don't know these days why my chalks are not very visible. I don't really know why that is happening, because I'm making use of, I think, of a white chalk here. So I believe it should have been, well, maybe I should have used a red chalk. But anyways, please just follow as I'm doing it, and then you're going to be getting it. And pardon me if it's not that visible. So just roll it out like so. Actually, I was making use of a red chalk, like I can see it from here. So I'll be dividing my bust measurement into 4, and then I'll be adding 1.5 inches for some seam allowance. And then I'll go over to my waist area. I'll be doing the same thing, divide my waist by 4, and then add 1 inch for my darts, and then 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So I'll be connecting those together. And so I'll be going back to the shoulder area. So I'll be coming back to my armhole area, and I'll be dropping my shoulder by 1 inch. And then for the neck width of the neckline, I'll be making use of 3.5 inches. And then I'll be slanting my shoulder like so. When slanting, please kindly always remember to add your half inch for joining allowance so that you won't be short, yeah. So that was what I just did. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to just come to the front and then mark the depth that I'll be making use of. So I ended up marking 4 inches for the front neck depth, and then for the back I'll be making use of 1 inch. And then I'll be carving that out respectively. I'll carve out the front first, and then I'll carve out the back. It's going to be a round neckline. And so I'll be dividing my nipple to nipple or bust band measurement into 2, and then I'll be getting out my darts so that it will be easy for me when I'm sewing this. So this is just going to be having a normal darts. But if you want yours to be like a princess dart bustier, you can go ahead and do that. But I just felt like this should be appropriate for this tutorial. And like you saw in the thumbnail, the style, you don't really need all that much, yeah? So I'm just getting my darts a half inch on both sides, and then I'll be slanting them all the way. Remember, I've already added 1 inch for my darts. That is what I'm taking out right about now. So I've gotten that, and then I'll just notch it so that I'll know where it got to. And then I'll be repeating the same thing for the back piece. So let me place it back, and then I'm going to be cutting this out. So I'm going to be cutting out the back first before cutting the front. Now I just want to get my armhole, and then I'll just get the midpoint, come in by 1/2 inch, and then slant it all the way to meet the bust area. Just the normal norms. So let me just quickly cut this out. Remember to notch it so that the back will also be notched. So I'll be cutting out the neck line for the back first. Please cut out the back first, and then you cut out the sides. And then you cut out the armhole, and then you go to the shoulder slopes. And then we have the back piece ready. So I was separating that. Let me just quickly finish the back piece before I'll come back and adjust that of the front. So for the back, I'll just come to the back like so, just rule out a straight line to show you the back chest line, so that you know. You just come down by 1 inch, and then draw your dots 1/2 inch. Exactly what you did in the front, you're just going to be repeating it at the back. So at the zipper area, I'll just come in by 1/2 inch on the zipper area, and then slant it all the way to meet the upper part, so that it would avoid any bulginess at the zip area. Just slant it down like so. Sorry about that. Let me just use my free hand, and then just cut it out like so. Yeah. And then on the waist area, the lower parts, you see where I'm going to. Just on the waist area, the lower part, come up by 1/2 inch, and then slant it to meet your dart. And then you cut that out as well. I always use this method. I'm just comfortable with this, because it gives it a very perfect look around the waist area. So just cut it out like so, like 1/2 inch slanted like so, and then we're good to go. So let me just come to the front, and then adjust the armhole area, and then of course the neckline. And so voila, we are good to go. So now to get the armhole, just come down by either 1.5 or 2 inches from your neckline, and then from the line you came down with, just to measure, like depending on how wide you want your keyhole to be. Like mine, I just marked 1 inch all the way around. So just carve it out any shape you want to. Like, yeah, I have a detailed tutorial on how to sew this. If you don't know how to turn it with lining and all, I have a detailed tutorial. Please kindly check that out if you don't know how to do this, like turning that keyhole area. If you find it difficult, I have a detailed tutorial. Kindly check that out. Thank you. So yeah, I've cut that out to give me my keyhole at the chest area. So let me just quickly open this up so that you see how it's going to be looking. Yeah, so this is what we have. So you can see this is how it looks. Yeah. So I'll be cutting my lining off camera for these fabrics. Yeah, for the front and then the back. I'll be cutting up my lining separately for this respectively, because I'll be making use of a lining. And then let's go over to the lower part. So you know that this style is going to be like in 3 layers. We have the half length, we have that place that has the basque, and then we have the gathers area. So this is the second step. That is where the basque is going to be. So the first thing so in order for you to determine what you would use, how you divide it, after removing your half length from your full length, whatever is left, you divide that into 2 as well, so that you ascertain the appropriate length you'll be taking. So that is exactly what I did here. So the first line I ruled here is my hip line area, that is from my waist to my hip. So I will just be inputting my waist hip area on that line first, and then I'll add 1.5 inches as sewing allowance. So I'm cutting both the front and back together. Like you see, I have already added my zipper allowance to the back fabric. As you can see, that is wider. And then on my waist area, I'll just be getting my waist, add 1 inch for that, and then 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. Now if you don't want any of that on that front area, well, that is entirely your choice. So I just wanted to have it that there. That is why I'm adding my dots. But if you don't want, you can just get your waist divided by 4 and then add your sewing allowance. So whatever I have on my hip line, I'll be taking it to the length of the skirt, because this is a skirt, of course. Yeah, the skirt part, because by the time we join into the half length, it's going to be coming out as a gown. So yeah, I'm cutting that out, as you can see. So we are basically through with this second part, almost through, sorry, because I'm going to be creating the basque effect shortly. So now this is the zipper area. I'm just trying to trim out unnecessary fabrics that are there. So in order to create the basque effect, like I went up by 1 inch, but later on I went up higher than that. I did that off camera because when I did it, I saw that it didn't give me the actual thing that I saw on the thumbnail. So if you want exactly what is on the thumbnail, you can go up as high as 3 inches from your hip line, or even 4 inches, because if you look at the thumbnail, the model and the thumbnail, you can see that Agatha started all the way from her hip, as in almost at her waist area. So we just target that to be like 3 inches below our waist area. So I later adjusted this. I didn't show it here because I'd already coupled the clothes and all, but I later adjusted it so that it will give that look that you can see on the thumbnail. Yeah, so please kindly take note of that. So we have our front and our back. So you can see that I didn't really give that basque effect. So that was why I said I went up a little bit higher. So basically, if you want to get that exactly on the thumbnail, just come down from your waistline, just mark 3 inches from your waistline down, and then slant it from that 3 inches to the middle point of your fabric, and then you're going to be having a very good basque effect. Maybe in due course I'm going to be making this for myself, because this is for a client, of course. So I will be showing you how to achieve that very well. So yes, we are through with this. I'll be cutting out the lining for these parts as well. Yeah, so let me quickly go and do this and I'll be right back. So I've gone ahead to turn my fabrics. As you can see, I've even gone ahead to close it up, fix my zipper. I don't want to show all those ceremonies because there's really no need to do all that, because I have done this several on my channels, and I believe that almost everybody, even if you're a beginner, you should know how to do all these little things. So you can see how it's looking. It's already looking beautiful. You can see the keyhole area that is key and very neat. Yeah, so this is the basque effect. As at this place, mind you, I have not done the adjustment, but I'll be doing it later on. It was even after I'd finished joining this gathers part. So for this gathers part, just get the length that will make up for your total length, and then if you don't want it to be too full like this, I made use of 2.5 yards, and of course the length. But if you don't want yours to be too, or you want yours to be very full, you can use between 3 or 4 inches, but I made use of 2.5 because my client didn't want it to be too full. So I'm just going to be joining that, and this is how it looked. So when I looked at it, I even wore it on my mannequin, and then I had to go back to check the picture that was on the thumbnail. That was when I saw that the basque effect started right almost at the hip waist area, beg your pardon. So I had to loose this up and then reshaped the basque effect before fixing back this. But sorry, because I'd already done this tutorial before doing that. That's why I didn't bother to show that again. So, but it still came out beautiful as it is, but I wanted exactly what was on the thumbnail. So I believe you enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, kindly hit on the subscribe button, kindly like, kindly share, and kindly give this video a thumbs up. So it was after I wore it on the mannequin head that I decided to do that adjustment, which came out very well. But at that time, my client had already taken her clothes. So thank you all, and see you all in my next tutorial. And as always, like I always say, you can see that the cloth is neat and came out very beautiful. So like I always say, this is Genius Signatures, and then of course, and I'm signing out. So see you all on my next tutorial. Yeah, thank you, and God bless you. Bye.